Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Today on The Young and the Restless, Daniel lashes out at Sharon, Ian fills Jordan in on his new plan, and Summer and Chance decide to end their break. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. Summer sits awkwardly with her mother at Crimson Lights. While Phyllis rails about how disgusting Michael's change of defense for Sharon is, her daughter assures her that it is no more than a sign of desperation. Given how much Sharon has gotten away with in her life, her mom isn't so sure that she won't get away with this as well. She's left a lot of victims in her wake, and they need justice. Summer urges her to leave this alone and focus on where she wants her future to take her. Staring at Billy as he walks in, Phyllis agrees her daughter may be right about this. Summer gets up to go as Billy sits down with them. She leaves to take her son to hockey and Phyllis thanks her for coming. Billy notes she's looking a little less miserable. When Phyllis tells him she's moved on from wallowing to being ready to blow things up, he threatens to walk. She informs him that Sharon and her team of doofuses have found a way to game the justice system. A few feet away, Ian eavesdrops on them from a table. Phyllis explains that she called Billy there because she needs to put her son first. She's thought about it and can't work with him on his plan to go after Victor when she needs to focus on Daniel. The avid admires how protective she is of her children, but what can she do? Phyllis is determined to do something and complains that Michael and Nick are totally deluded and Sharon has dated most of the cops at the GCPD. She can't let this investigation get opened again. Billy warns that she is not the judge and jury and obsessing over this will only wear her down. Is she going to go after Sharon herself? As she claims she won't do that, Ian smiles and walks out. Phyllis wonders why justice is only considered such when it goes through the courts. You want me to explain civilized society to you? Billy asks. She's been having visions of getting payback on Sharon for all the damage that she's caused her family by just walking around town. He can understand wanting retribution. She adds it doesn't need to be death. It just has to be something if the court fails. Billy tells her that following through on gruesome plans will solve nothing. It would be a monumental mistake. Phyllis is sure Sharon and her crew are just throwing things at the wall to see how they stick. He reminds her of when she went up against Diane, framed her, and faked her own death. It's not wise to do something that desperate again. It would be better if Phyllis channeled her energy into working for him. She accuses him of suggesting that his desire for vengeance is valid while hers is not. My way keeps you free so you can be there for your family, he points out. The fight he's advocating for is one they can win. It would give Daniel and his talent a place to land. She'd like to be part of that, but this Sharon situation is demanding her attention. Billy says the time is now for them to take what they deserve and never let it go. As they walk outside, Billy explains that this is a lifeline to give Daniel comfort and support. Phyllis would like that, but she's so tired of Sharon and Nick. He repeats that she needs to let that go. It's pointless, and they need to concentrate on something they can do. Daniel wanders into Crimson Lights and runs into Nick. The Newman has been thinking of him and asks how Christmas was with Lucy. Daniel explains that he and Lucy tried to do right by Heather, but she felt like if she enjoyed the holidays, she would be betraying her mom. Lucy forced a smile and only cried a little. Nick is sure it is hard to come back to reality after a date like that. Daniel is having some trouble with reality, since he's been hearing that Sharon claims there was a third person in the apartment and that they are the real killer. After they get a table, Nick explains that there were gaps in Sharon's memory, so she underwent hypnosis. That's how they found out there was a gloved hand, and Heather collapsed across the room. This new evidence isn't impressing Daniel. He wonders if this is all just a convenient hallucination. Nick notes it may look that way, but she didn't do it. The question is, who did it? They can only hope the police will investigate. The security footage from the building couldn't be salvaged, but that doesn't mean that something else from the neighborhood couldn't show up. It will take detective work to get to the bottom of this. All of this sounds ridiculous to Daniel, and he wants to hear it from Sharon's mouth for himself. At Sharon's, she and Michael explained to Chance that she has been having hypnosis sessions, and they have been filling in the blanks she's had in her memory thanks to her blackouts. In the latest session, she recalled a gloved hand and heard Heather collapsing across the room. The detective reminds her that she's already confessed and entered a plea. He's looked at every piece of evidence, and there's no indication anyone else was there. She remains the only suspect. The cop isn't finding any of this compelling, but the lawyer is ready to take this, and the proof that her meds were laced with PCP to the authorities. Sharon admits that she framed Daniel, and her lawyer says they will deal with that later. He urges Chance to reopen the investigation. Sharon backs this up and insists she didn't kill Heather. She's not saying that to avoid punishment, but because it's the truth. The real killer is still out there somewhere. Michael declares that this is about a woman's death, another woman's freedom, and the safety of everyone in Geno City. Chance asks for more details, but Sharon and Michael don't have any. That's why they need the police to look into this. Sharon's sure Chance is the best person for this job. Heather's family deserves to know who took her from them. Nick and Daniel arrive. Daniel doesn't want to be there, but he wants to know what Sharon is trying to pull now. His mother told him they were cooking up a new defense, and he wanted to hear it for himself. Nick and Chance warn him not to get heated. Daniel asks if the cops are buying her crap. Sharon's sorry he has to think about this over Christmas. She insists this is no game and she would have kept this silent if Phyllis hadn't ripped into her. When Daniel lays into Chance, the detective claims he's just giving them the benefit of the doubt. Sharon gasps in relief when he admits he will make a case to reopen the investigation. After Chance walks out, Daniel complains that he can't even tell his daughter to believe in justice while they are around. Sharon tells him he has every right to be skeptical of her. Daniel says he doesn't need her to validate the way he feels. Sharon tells him how hard it is for her to deal with this. She's determined to take responsibility for her actions, but she needs to know what happened. He complains that she keeps changing her story. Nick stands up for his ex and says that what she saw under hypnosis was real. Daniel can't put much faith in that and wonders why Michael is leaping to this when he had a defense in place. The lawyer says he genuinely believes this. They need to look under every rock because the killer is still out there. It scares him that they don't know how all these things are connected, but they need to find Heather's killer. Daniel doesn't know what to think anymore, but suggests they keep him posted so he doesn't have to find out from someone else. Sighing, Daniel says this part was all supposed to be over. Losing Heather was starting to feel real. Now is he supposed to imagine her killer is out there watching? Sharon begs him to listen to Nick, Michael, or Chance. This is not just about her case, but about his safety. The killer is out there and may not be done. After he storms out, Sharon worries about how much more he and Lucy will have to endure. Nick explains that he is going to look into this too. Ian hurries back to the motel and slams the door. Jordan asks if he's acting that excited out on the streets and drawing attention to them. Taking off his coat, he explains that a problem caused by her fumble is about to be rectified. Plus, they can have some fun in the process. That sets her off and they bicker about all the work she's done. Jordan reminds him that she's gotten diddly for all she's accomplished so far. He's apologetic and tells her they need to stay on the same page going forward. More blood will need to be spilled, he says. Jordan asks what the plan is. He explains it involved Phyllis. They met in the woods once and he cooked her trout. It was a moment out of time. He won't explain more. She wonders if she should be jealous. He hopes she will be energized, assuring Jordan that Phyllis means nothing to him. He adds that her animal nature makes her the perfect target for his next scheme. Summer strolls into Crimson Lights, giggling with Harrison over the phone. The mood drops when she bumps into Chance. They make some small talk about Harrison's Christmas. The cop was going to drop off a remote-controlled police car and assures her it has no siren. Things get more uncomfortable when she brings up Sharon's change of story. He thinks that might be a dangerous topic of discussion for them. He hates that this case has come between them. Not seeing her for Christmas was awful, and he can't continue handling their break the way they have been. Summer and Chance both hate what's happened, but don't know where to go from here. He's not sure anything has changed, since she must still have a problem with his job. She gets that, but reminds him that this case is very personal to her. Chance reminds her he has rules he has to follow. Summer can concede that. Clearly, there are things she needs that he can't give her. Chance admits he's been second-guessing how he's handled the whole case. That could happen again. Will it make her crazy to be around him at Sharon walks? They don't need to go through that again. After hearing his side of this, Summer can understand that Sharon's case is not his fault. She was worried about her brother and took it out on him. She just wanted the nightmare for Daniel to end. The detective doesn't hold it against her. He has no idea what will happen with this case, but asks if they can get dinner sometime. Smiling, Summer says she'd like that very much.